Governmentauctions.org is a small business that has made themselves experts in, well, government auctions. As a result, they've got a ton of valuable editorial links from CBS, Entrepreneur magazine, Inc. magazine, and many, many others. I really wanted to find out how they did it. So I chased up their CEO, Ian Oranovich, and found he has some terrific link building advice to offer any website. How do you get your name out there, and how do you get into so many places?
And when we first started, actually, we got into a lot of media without really even trying. Like, what we did is we did a couple of press releases. And over time, we started being considered experts in the industry, so we always get calls from various media and organizations for like advice and comments.
So press releases can get you noticed, but Ian found a much better way to get in front of journalists who need sources.
About 2 years ago, we started using Armherro, which I'm sure you're familiar with, which is a helper reporter. It's a terrific resource, because what they do is they send out 3 times a day queries, topical queries, in just about every topic that you can imagine that reporters have where they need to find a source.
But these media stories weren't about government auctions per se. CBS wanted ways for small businesses to save money. Entrepreneur magazine were looking for businesses that had made changes to their business model. Inc.com wanted stories about how American companies could benefit from the euro crisis. Mashable wanted to know how digital would change the small business environment. And here's the biggest lesson with Harrow. Don't wait just for queries about your industry. Look for general queries that almost any small business can answer. In that way, you'll multiply your media opportunities manyfold. Another point that's really important for small businesses to realize about the media, and that is that reporters are under real pressure to get stories. And if you get a reputation for delivering stories, hey, I can fill that story spot by 5 o'clock, job done. That's fantastic.
Yeah, and we've got a couple of reporters that exactly work like that with us. So, after you do this for a while, right, what's cool is once you develop a rapport with them, just about anything that you submit, as long as it's on topic and well written, it'll get in there.
And this coverage does wonders for your reputation.
The public perception is that, if you've gotten in the media, then at the very least, you've passed some minimum level of believability. It's that much more easy to make the customer feel, let's say, comfortable on your site and think, hey, are these guys for real? Is the information I'm going to get going to be good information? Well, hey, if the media already vetted it, it's got to be good information, right?
And what about press lists?
With any major media that we work with, we put them in a media list, we find out all the information there is about them, and then if we have something that we think is important to share with them, we send it over to them, and that sometimes creates a story. In addition to that, when they've got a story going, we're the first source that they call, which is really, really cool to have the first bang at being in the article.
And do your media stories spread?
At the same time, the Entrepreneur and the Inc., the same thing happens there. Everybody copies those stories. And then all of a sudden, you think you have one link, you have 1,000 links.
But sometimes, despite all your hard work, you don't get a link.
More recently, what we're doing is if we get into a media story and we don't get a link, we actually email the reporter, and 9 out of 10 times they will place the link for us. It's kind of like running a marathon. It was a lot of work to get those things, but then when you got them, you're really proud of yourself because you know what the vetting process was at some of these publications. I mean, it wasn't easy. It's gone through like probably 5-6 editors, then it's gotten through 5-6 fact checkers, and there's a bunch of other people and interesting stories competing against you.